never really my intention to get into bookbinding. It was sort of an accident.
Folks shave set fairly aggressively, so it's taking off quite a bit of the top layer.
When I was in college, I was working at a local bookstore here in town, and I bought a copy of John Dryden's translations of Juvenal Perseus. But it needed some work. The front cover, original binding, the front cover had detached. I went and picked it up, and it was just like something went click in me, and I was like, there are bookbinders in the world. And so I thought, I'm going to be a bookbinder. And everybody on God's green earth said I was absolutely insane. Because this is not anything that you're going to learn. This is not a sit down and be lectured to. So this process is, you're either going to get it or you're not. And it all comes down to your hands. You're either good with your hands or you're not. Well, I tried teaching myself, and that was a kind of a joke. Through the process of reading, these books I was trying to use to learn how to do the craft, I figured out that, there's a guild in London, and I always wanted to go to England, and so I wrote a letter to the guild, and I said, hey, is there anybody in England that's actually teaching traditional bookbinding? I'd love to learn. In the beginning, I had, over time, collected some books for whatever sort of books that a young university student could collect. But there were some pretty cool books, and they were precious to me, and I loved them very much. But when I came back, all but one of them I knew those were the means for me to get started. So I hawked them all. So when I started the business, I had very little, but what I had a wealth of was what I learned in England. And once I opened the shop and started getting into it, I started realizing that every single book, and now 20 years later, every single book is still teaching something. What I do as a craftsman, as a bookbinder, is purely a celebration of what is inside the book. My burden is to make a binding worthy of the time and tears that were spent by the author who wrote those words. Because the author had the lion's share of the book. My process takes a little time. Paper making a little time, the printing a little time, but the author may have taken years. It's a humbling process. You have to be able to say that, okay, what I do is for this, not for me.